save your family.
HBO Max is moving forward with its Booster Gold TV show, and they brought on David Jenkins, the creator behind Our Flag Means Death, to write the pilot. If the show gets picked up as a full series, Jenkins is expected to stay on as the showrunner, which could be a big deal for fans of his quirky storytelling style. This all comes just as The Penguin racked up a bunch of Emmy nominations, which gives Warner Bros. Discovery another solid reason to push ahead with more DC-related projects. Booster Gold could easily be their next major TV adaptation from the comic book universe. So who is Booster Gold anyway? Well, he was created by Dan Jurgens, and his real name is Michael Jon Carter. He actually grew up in Gotham City and was a college football star on a scholarship, until he got caught up in a gambling scandal and was kicked out. Instead of turning his life around the traditional way, he chose to become a superhero. But here's the thing. He's not your typical selfless hero. He's kind of obsessed with fame and fortune, and that rubs a lot of people the wrong way. His superhero name, Booster Gold, was even given to him after he saved former President Ronald Reagan. When DC Studios heads James Gunn and Peter Safran laid out their big plan for the new DC Universe a couple of years ago, Booster Gold was one of the shows they highlighted. Back then, they explained that the character would be using basic future tech to fake being a superhero in the modern world. It sounded like a fun and different direction compared to the darker, brooding heroes we usually get. But even with that initial announcement, things didn't exactly move quickly. There were reports that the first showrunner left the project, and Gunn also cleared up rumors that Kumail Nanjiani would be starring in the lead role, at least for now. So while it's definitely still in the works, it's been a bit of a slow burn. If it does go to series, the show would be a reunion of sorts between HBO Max and Jenkins. His pirate comedy, Our Flag Means Death, was a cult favorite, but it was canceled after just 2 seasons in early 2024 and didn't find another platform to keep it going. When the cancellation was announced, Jenkins said he felt the show had ended too soon, but he made a point to praise HBO and its leadership for how much they supported the project. Besides that, Jenkins also created the sci-fi comedy People of Earth on TBS, so he's definitely got a good track record when it comes to unique, offbeat TV. This latest Booster Gold update comes just as San Diego Comic-Con is kicking off, and DC's TV lineup is bound to be a hot topic. Over on HBO Max, there's still buzz from The Penguin nearly breaking Emmy records for comic book adaptations. The show pulled in 24 nominations, including nods for Colin Farrell and Kristen Milioti. So the timing for this news seems pretty intentional. We haven't gotten an official statement from HBO Max yet about Booster Gold, but more announcements could be on the way, especially with Comic-Con happening. Interestingly, there's also been chatter that James Gunn is considering spin-off shows for Superman's side characters like Mr. Terrific, played by Eddie Cathegi, and Jimmy Olsen, played by Skylar Gisondo. It seems like they're really leaning into TV as a way to build out the new DC universe in fun and unexpected ways. Jenkins, by the way, is repped by Blue Marble Management, CAA, and the law firm Johnson Shapiro Sluitt & Cole. So he's got a solid team behind him. Now let's talk about Booster Gold the character. He's often referred to as the greatest hero you've never heard of, and while he's not as instantly recognizable as someone like Batman or Superman, he's been a part of some pretty iconic DC stories. He started off solo but later joined the Justice League International and helped usher in a new era for the team. With his upcoming DCU debut, the writers really need to draw inspiration from the comics that truly capture what makes Booster tick. To start with, the original Booster Gold comic from 1985 is where it all began. Dan Jurgens was the creative force behind it, and the story runs through 25 issues. In those early stories, we meet Michael Jon Carter, a disgraced football star from the 25th century who travels back in time to the 20th century to start fresh. He uses future tech and his knowledge of what's to come to turn himself into a superhero. But his goals aren't entirely noble. He's really chasing fame and fortune. His first big moment? Saving Ronald Reagan and getting his superhero name. A big part of Booster's charm is his flashy, over-the-top attitude and his futuristic gear, like his flight ring from the Legion of Superheroes and his robot buddy Skeets. These elements helped define the tone of his early adventures, and they really shaped who he would become in later stories. Then came Justice League International, which was a total game changer. This version of the League wasn't your typical Superman-led team. Instead, it focused on a ragtag group of heroes that included Booster. It's in this run that Booster meets Ted Kord, aka the Blue Beetle, and the two became best friends. Their friendship is so iconic that it's become one of the most beloved dynamics in DC Comics. If the show plans to bring Booster Gold to life properly, Ted Kord absolutely needs to be part of the picture. Another great arc is Booster Gold 52 Pickup. This one came after the Big 52 event and sees Booster grieving the death of Blue Beetle while stepping into the role of a time-traveling hero. With the help of Rip Hunter and possibly a secret family connection, Booster works to fix broken timelines and stop major disasters before they happen. His sister, Michelle, who goes by the name Goldstar, also becomes part of the story. These time-hopping adventures give Booster a deeper purpose and would be perfect for a serialized TV show. There's also Justice League Generation Lost, where Booster reunites with his old teammates from the Justice League International. When they find themselves being hunted down, they have to band together again. And it turns out the villain pulling the strings is Maxwell Lord, the very person responsible for Blue Beetle's death. This storyline gives Booster some serious emotional weight, showing how much he's grown. It's a reminder that even though Booster is often treated like a comic relief character, he's capable of depth and leadership when it matters most. Then there's Blue and Gold, a more recent series that brings Booster and Ted back together again. It's a lighthearted, funny series where the two try to make a name for themselves as superheroes in the digital age. Booster even tries to become a social media influencer. But beneath all the jokes, it's really about friendship and loyalty. Their bond is something that any Booster Gold adaptation absolutely has to capture. Finally, DC All-In Special Number 1 makes Booster a key player in the future of the DC Universe. In this ambitious flip book comic, Superman pulls Booster back into the Justice League just as a massive threat, Darkseid, emerges. Booster ends up sacrificing himself to save others, only to wake up in a strange, new universe where no one remembers him. It's a tragic twist, but it shows how important he's become. Booster isn't just some side character anymore, he's crucial to the big picture. So with all this history, Booster Gold has a lot of potential as a TV series. He's not just about laughs and showboating, although there's plenty of that. He's also someone who evolves over time, forming deep connections and taking on bigger responsibilities. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.